RWBY, Justice League. Two popular series with not much in common, but who cares? We got RWBY content and that's all the fans want. Now, the biggest question that remains is this movie good? Hello guys, my name is SoulArts. Welcome back to a brand new video, and we're here to discuss the RWBYXJL movie. I have this ordered in sections for your viewing pleasure. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Away from me, I'm on the edge, so why you playing? I'm saying I will never ever let you live this down.
The movie starts off simple. Clark Kent spawns in and sees Ruby and Yang fighting Grimm. The big difference we should recognize is that these are the Volume 1 designs. Superman realizes he's in a different place and can't use his powers. Ruby and Yang realize that the Grimm are different because they can absorb dust. Next we see Blake and Callie in their home. It gets intruded in by Wonder Woman and we get some plot points. 1. The Justice League are younger. Their age is around 16 through 18. 2. They have no clue where they are. 3. CCT has been down for a while. And 4. Blake is going to take Wonder Woman to Beacon. Next we see Weiss in her manor. Jock is there because he is throwing a party. At the party, Bruce Wayne is an attendant. Weiss runs into Bruce and they begin chatting no Twitch streams. Now this Batman is it's fucking something, alright. Also, Weiss points out something pretty interesting. She knows all the upper class family. That means she probably knows Neo's true identity. Who knows, but I thought it was cool to point out. Next, Bruce gets caught stealing the lab key and he is tossed down the stairs. Yeah, the guy that had a plan to kill every member of the Justice League, the same man who knows like every fighting style and learned that shit in a week, got thrown down the stairs by Weiss Schnee. Next we see him fighting, and why the fuck did he throw out a command grab with no setup? Also, this fighting doesn't feel like Batman. Like, let's ignore the fact that he's getting mixed by Weiss and let's just take in like what Batman is doing. Batman should be having her insides look like scrambled eggs. Pause. Batman be hitting motherfuckers with a 50-piece combo talking about where are they. Motherfucker can't even get a hit. Not to mention he got caught in the ice. And the big reveal of this scene is that Batman is a bat faunus. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea of him being a bat faunus, but damn, this fucking execution hurts. Next we see Jock being racist. He might as well hit the motherfucking keep dancing for us monkey. The way he was talking and just this in general, bro, and on Black History Month, it's fucking tragic. But no, in all seriousness, Batman doesn't know how to control his wings and he knocks himself out. And he is put in a holding cell. At Beacon, Superman and Wonder Woman reunite, and we also get a Bumbleby moment. Then we also get some plot. Team RWBY minus the W remembers that this isn't their real timeline. Superman and Wonder Woman go through the same thing before Ozpin walks in. This scene is pretty ominous as they remember Ozpin is supposed to be Oscar and Ozpin starts switching between the two. It's actually kind of cool, admittedly. To add to the RWBY fucking meme collection of Oscar being bullied, Wonder Woman grabs Oscar and pins him against the wall like a freshman girl versus a super senior. Finally, Ozpin tells them to follow him and RWBY notices a small green wing before walking out. The scene transitions to Team Junior and the rest of the Justice League. They are being taught by Glinda how to activate their aura and symbolisms. They also are being taught dust. The conversations here are pretty fine as they are simply setting up things for later. Here's the weird thing. Cyborg makes fun of Ren's childhood trauma causing Nora to laugh, which then makes Ren get jealous. Okay, sure? Next they are put into a sparring match, and yes, I have to state this. Besides the cool camera movements, these scenes are boring. These fights aren't interesting. I don't know who animated this and how many people did, but let's compare it to the creator of the series, Monty. Like, bro, hold on. I'm gonna need y'all to peep the fucking game that like Monty was doing real quick. Just let's peep the game of this one scene. Like I don't think y'all understand, bro. Like what Blood was doing, bro. Like by himself. I think this was by himself. If it wasn't, I know he did majority of it. So who cares, bro? Let's peep game, bro. Light work, no reaction. Just get it out of here. Hold on, wait, Bloom, nigga, fuck you mean? Hold on, skadoosh. Like, bro, it's just fucking effortless, bro. And it looks so just is detailed. You can understand everything. It's fluid. Everything goes into each other. You can understand the characters' actions and how they fight without talking, without doing much. And you get everything from this. And this is like mainly one person, right? You have a list of like 4 other people doing the other one, and it just doesn't feel like this. It doesn't have this level of creativity. Doesn't have this level of movement. And like, bro, just peep this scene. You see the grenade? Just skadoosh, nigga. Fuck you, me. Hold on, bro. We ain't done though. We got motherfucking extensions, bro. Like, Bloom, like what? Like, like, bro, a generational talent, sensational. Like, bro.
Could you be a little more specific?
Yeah, sorry, Carolina, but seeing this many ex-girlfriends in one room kind of has me terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Well, snap out of it. I need you.
Need me for what?
Just switch back to it and just got right back to it.
How am I gonna do this with Soldier?
Just hold on.
Seriously, you need to slow down.
No.
Like, and just the intensity of like the like, like, bro, it's just going through shit. Like, get smoked. Yeah, got smoked. But it's just to say, like, you know, shit like that is like, bro, Justice League movie ain't do nothing like that. Let's compare one more scene. Let's compare this scene right here. Let's do this scene since it's more of like a team effort, right? Let's do this. Quality may be bad.
Roger. Might need a minute.
Smoke them. Cold World, just in a graveyard. And then the assist, bro, doing this with a snipe, like, bro, did he really deserve that? Caught that hoe. Bloom, just stupid.
Sniper, cover that building.
Switch on my mark. See?
Look at the synchronization. Just look at the plays. Look at the highlight level plays. This is Shaq and Kobe right here. Just like look at the like. Where is this now? Where is it now? It's so good, bro.
Hold them off.
Good. Let's
Switch.
The slow motion, bro. It's so good.
Sorry, sir. Hey, what's going on? Soldier, where is everyone?
Wait, isn't this like the gravity scene as well? I'm getting distracted. Hold on. I'm getting slightly distracted. Oh no, it's not. Okay, we pause. We stop. We can't go into madness. I gotta end it there. Holy shit, gotta end it there. Yeah. So besides my fangirling, it's just a complete difference in passion and execution. Even if you wanted to make the excuse that they are choosing to animate in a cinematic way, there are things that he just does far better. And I just want to say this, it's like we had fucking Michael Jordan at the start of the game, and now we have fucking Devin Booker. No disrespect to Devin Booker, but he not fucking Michael Jordan. So, you know, it's like even in a cinematic way, Monty still does it better, and other people still do it better. RWBY just feels pretty soulless and not that creative in my opinion, especially when it came to this movie. Just the animation, it fell flat in my opinion. The fight choreography didn't shine here. The fight gets interrupted after everyone meets up, then suddenly Ozpin and Glenda disappear. We hear the group talk about who could be behind this strange world before Wonder Woman questions where Batman is. While Batman is in his cell, he unlocks his semblance. Also, yeah, he unlocked his semblance pretty easily. Also, the guy that is known to be a powerless, rich billionaire but keeps up with gods and is, you know, God-given powers. I don't think I have to explain this, but this just feels kind of weird. It's like having Sasuke but removing his Sharingan. It's integral for Batman to be powerless. Batman has no powers at all. He's a rich billionaire, but he's able to keep up with gods. He makes do with what's around him. Batman is the most resourceful person ever. I feel like, in my opinion, Batman is smart enough to do this without a semblance. It feels more in character. Giving him a semblance just makes it feel and it doesn't make him feel like Batman. Also, he falls on his face again because he doesn't know how to use his wings yet. So yeah, Weiss comes in, helps him, and then they proceed to go to the lab. Meanwhile, in Beacon Academy, the group is struggling to decide which plan to go for, and they decide to split the team, having Wonder Woman and Bumbleby fight Batman. Jaune and Jessica go to find a ring, and RWBY and the rest are going to fight Grimm. Some additives to know: Jaune is dealing with pure PTSD, Bumbleby is still forced in my opinion, and Cyborg is being forced to be with Nora. Yeah, that's kind of strange. In Atlas, Batman and Weiss work to find a lab, realizing it is being guarded by Grimm. Weiss goes to fight and actually does some moves we have never seen her do before. They realize the Grimm are illusions, prompting Batman to struggle and finally get access into the hidden lab. Once inside, Weiss makes the comment that he belongs in Remnant, causing Batman to feel as if she has a point, making him unsure whether to stay in the world of Remnant or go back to Gotham. Now, with RWBY's group, they are all struggling to communicate and get along. Randomly, Cyborg talks about how he is no use due to electronics not being around, so he asks Nora about her weapon. Simple scene, but this is ridiculous to force Rin's jealousy. In the first episode of RWBY, Ozpin acknowledges RWBY's weapon as one of the most dangerous. I'm sure Cyborg could have done the same and actually get a proper response due to RWBY creating Crescent Rose and actually liking Crescent Rose. Instead, he tells Nora to force this scene, which comes off weird. Cyborg shouldn't even be interested in Nora, not to mention the build up and execution of this is atrocious. Next is RWBY. She's feeling down by not being a competent leader, but Superman is there to cheer her up. Now we have Jaune and Jessica. Jessica is trying to find her ring and manages to have a mental breakdown. Jaune, being the goat he is, helps her with a heartfelt scene. This scene has got to be one of the best in the movie. Actually, this dynamic is the best in the movie. From the voice acting to the music to the overall feel of it, it feels good. Nothing feels forced or rushed. Everything feels slow, soothing, and like a genuine connection. After Jaune helps Jessica, she gets transported into a white void. She gets nervous, but Jaune manages to help her. We then get a speech from her, and her speech is pretty heartfelt and meaningful in my opinion. Jaune then gets transported to the white space, and they both realize they were never in Remnant. They realize the world is an illusion and find a seer. Jaune gets caught, and his PTSD and emotions are high. The voice acting and tenseness honestly brings chills, and it's actually so fucking good. Once Jaune is saved, Jessica causes a crack in the white void by throwing Jaune's shield. They go through the small rift and close it up, transitioning us to Blake, Yang, and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had a talk with the bees, and funny enough, the situation that Wonder Woman states relates to Raven Bronwyn, but Yang agrees and draws no parallels between the situation she's talking about and her mother before the ship is attacked. Blake and Diana choose to jump out of the ship, but Yang says a corny line asking if Blake is sure. Remember, this is the same girl who drove a motorcycle through moving traffic while chasing Roman in an Atlesian tech. This is the same girl who got punched through a stone pillar by a robot. The same girl who survived a train crash, and lastly, sent her own sister towards a Nevermore in a combined team attack and watched in awe as she drug it up a mountain and decapitated it. Why the fuck is Yang worried about Blake dropping from the atmosphere off of a plane, when Blake has also used her shadows to boost herself upwards, not to mention her weapon is like a fucking grapple? It just doesn't make sense. Dialogue like this for me feels not needed. It's like you put Master Chief against one grunt and said, "Hey man, do you need backup?" Like, no, that's Master Chief. He does not need fucking backup. He fought an army by himself. In the midst of the fight with the Grimm, Blake lands on the window. This is where we get another Bumbleby scene, which still, in my opinion, isn't needed. Blake tells Yang to tilt the ship, and Yang wants to make sure before they do the little hand thingy. Like I stated before, why the fuck is she worried? This is the same girl that gave zero fucks about Neptune when he was riding with her, and blood had the potential to be splattered like a pancake by a moving car. If you compare Yang's previous attitude to now, it just feels pretty weird. You would expect Yang to be happy, even encourage some cool shit like, hey man, do a flip, you know what I'm saying? You just have some happy-go-lucky shit. It's not like Blake is in any real harm anyways. These are very tiny, small Grimm that are attacking the ship. In my opinion, I think Blake should be able to do fine. She has the most range and the most versatility. So for Yang to be worried like Blake has one stock and is at 999%, it just feels ridiculous to me. Now we go back to Jessica and Jaune. The both are in Beacon Halls and Pyrrha is calling out to him. Jessica tells Jaune that the voice isn't real and Jaune gets emotional. Pyrrha calls out more and Jaune gets his heart toyed with for the millionth time in the storyline. Pyrrha then offers to help Jaune and Jaune reluctantly accepts. Meanwhile, a Wyvern approaches RWBY's group and they go to fight it. In this battle, everyone tries to settle their differences. They also charge up Nora by filling her with electricity for the final kill. Sadly, the Grimm mutates and we go back to Weiss and Batman. Batman figures out the way the world works and Batman starts to feel as if he's the only one left. Weiss offers the proposition of Batman to stand remnant before it cuts back to Jessica and Jaune. Jaune walks into the classroom and is met by Pyrrha, and Jaune walks up to Pyrrha and calls Pyrrha not real, but he is also infatuated with her. As Jaune and Pyrrha speak, Pyrrha tells him that she's real and that she will explain everything soon. Jessica interrupts them by informing Jaune that they should alert their team. Jaune states that Pyrrha is real and has been helping them this entire time. He then says he wants to rely on Pyrrha instead of Jessica because she doesn't have her semblance yet. Pyrrha then leads them into a supposed shortcut before trapping them inside a small room. It is revealed that it is not Pyrrha and instead it is Kilgore. Jaune is now in the cusp of being the emotional punching bag once again. Now we focus back to RWBY's team as they fight. Superman gives RWBY a talk about leadership and then Superman begins to remember his fight more vividly. After this we see Superman press flash and then everything goes bad for the team before cutting back to Weiss and Batman. Weiss and Batman find the code that's running the world and then they hear a thud outside the lab, forcing them to go outside and find the Grimm that they have to fight. Weiss makes a dumb comment, Batman tells her to not use dust and Weiss says, what am I supposed to do, spit on them? Now if this was a Weiss enjoyer they'd probably bust and submit, but in all seriousness, we've seen Weiss pull out some crazy skills with her rapier and just her skills alone. Dust enhances her skills but they don't make her skills. Weiss saying this feels like a slap in the face, especially when she's been the person that's to be proper and technical. After fighting some of the Grimm and Batman not fighting like Batman, he begins to get overwhelmed and Wonder Woman and Bumbleby save the day. Jaune is now putting on a crazy performance. Miles always deliver, I'm not gonna lie. Bro performs like rent is fucking due. Jaune then apologizes and states that they shouldn't have trusted Pyrrha. They both speak about him losing Pyrrha and coping, and this is probably one of the most beautiful and soft scenes in RWBY. The room then begins to close in and threatens to crush them. Jessica begins to have a nervous breakdown and becomes overwhelmed, but Jaune tries to help her. We then transition back to Batman and Weiss. Batman and Wonder Woman get caught up and Batman pulls out some of the weakest voice acting I've heard. And also Batman just sounds like a little kid in a supermarket, not sounding like Batman at all. Batman states that he wants to go back home and Weiss decides to activate her Hall of Fame knob cleaner badge and be on straight cock, telling Batman to stand remnant. Like damn bro, get off his fucking dick, he not go fuck you gang. Please bro, please, for the love of God. She has mentioned this so many times. Get off his dick bro, stop cleaning his fucking knob. Wonder Woman laughs at Weiss' attempt to keep Batman a stay, which is what a normal person should fucking do. Batman then tells Wonder Woman that he has powers in Remnant and can be of use, more useful than he ever has. Yeah, this is Batman by the way, the motherfucker who is resourceful with everything he does, the guy who needs no powers to handle deities. Why the fuck is he acting like such a little bitch? Why the fuck is he so self-conscious? I have never seen a Batman this fucking soft. It honestly just feels like an OC with the name Batman. Batman then states that he can be like Diana. He can be a warrior. Like, oh my god, what were they doing? That scene felt like a waste of budget, I'm not gonna lie. It didn't fit the character and it just fucking sucked. Next, we head back to the GOAT pairing of Jaune and Jessica, actually fucking Shaq and Kobe. Jaune is struggling to keep the walls from closing while also just still trying to encourage Jessica. With a lot of perseverance, Jessica finally helps and expels the fucking, she just expels them out of the room. Yay, they're saved, and oh my god. It's so crazy to go from like shit to like good scene, just like right, like back to back, whatever. We then transition to RWBY's team and Flash is acting strange. Suddenly, Monochrome plus Yang and Wonder Woman join the fray. Out of nowhere, Jessica and Jaune also join the main battle. Jessica states that this is a virtual reality. Following this, Batman appears on a mountain stating that Flash can be responsible. Vixen chimes in by saying that's why he smells different, and then Jessica asks for her ring. Batman gives a speech on why Kilgore is controlling the Flash, then they press him and try to fight him. He then gives the most weakest fucking villain monologue I have ever heard. I know I complained about the fighting earlier, but even like the boring fighting choreography that we have is actually more entertaining than this speech. It's actually so entertaining during reaction, and like even while making the script for this video, I didn't remember it. I can't remember a single thing from it. It's just that boring and so bad. Like, you cannot pay me to transcript that, just to put that on a page. It just fucking sucks. It's not good. It's not listenable. It actually just blows cock. It's actually just so bad. After immobilizing Kilgore, they split him from Flash's body. Kilgore flies into the river and Flash hands Vixen and Jessica their stuff. Now, the final battle begins. Superman and RWBY find out they can put an end to this if they kill the Wyvern because Kilgore is also inside of it now. After fighting for a bit, Green Lantern is the one to land a finishing blow. They also realize that Kilgore is no longer there, probably back in their own world. Batman then states that he can send everybody back to their own worlds, and he is questioned where he will go by Wonder Woman, and then he makes the most neutral fucking statement ever. And yes, he doesn't pick a side. He literally is like, I'll go wherever I need to because I'm a warrior in both worlds. If that isn't the most neutral shit I've ever heard, that literally just fucking sucks. It then transitions to everyone giving goodbye. Cyborg apologizes to Ren for almost stealing his bitch, and then they go back to the portal home. Everyone gave their farewells, and Wonder Woman gave a speech that was still similar to Raven, and Yang didn't see any difference. Weiss activates her Hall of Fame knob cleaner badge one last time, attempting to get Batman to stay, but he leaves back to Gotham, and they all go back to their own worlds. RWBY wakes up in a VR machine and realizes that someone from their world had to create the setup that they were just in, which goes into the next movie. I don't think I have to state this, Volume 1 designs are perfect. They always look so fucking good and they fit the characters. RWBY is cool again, Weiss looks dope, Blake isn't actually fucking whack, and Yang is still consistently good. Juniper looks actually pretty good as well. Now, on to the new stuff. Superman looks standard. I honestly think he looks better in the comics, but overall it's not bad. It fits the character and it looks alright. It gets the job done. Batman looks fucking atrocious, and I mean that in the worst way possible. His design when he's in a suit, like when business casual suit, it looks pretty good. But his design when he's suited up and has this fucking quote unquote bat suit, that shit should be considered a fucking hate crime. That should that shit is actually so fucking bad. It doesn't feel like Batman, it doesn't work as Batman, and overall it didn't work in either setting. As a RWBY Batman, it looked bad, and as a DC Batman, it looked insulting. It was just like it was just fucking bad. It was actually just fucking bad. Cyborg isn't all too impressive. He just looks like a typical guy you find at a gas station. He's just there, way more bland than Superman, but not anything too bad. Vixen was actually surprising. I like her outfit a lot. Her design fits the original. It looks good for RWBY and DC. Sure, her hair isn't the most accurate, but it still works well. I actually think she looked pretty good. Perhaps in the story she was a bit eh. I definitely felt like she was a bit eh in the story. But design wise, it's definitely above average. I definitely like her. This Flash needed to be put on Fraud Watch. This Flash isn't as bad as the Batman, but it just feels so Flash but not Flash. I understand the concept and the attempt, it just didn't hit hard. Overall, his design is simply eh. I actually just don't know how to rank it, because it feels better than Cyborg, but it also just feels bad. It just feels worse. Like it's really bad, but it really is good. It fits, but I don't know. He's weird. Wonder Woman is a S tier design. This fits her character. It makes her look good while it also makes her look badass. It works for both worlds. It looks practical. It honestly hit all bases. In my opinion, like I said, S tier design. Her design is actually truly great, and I don't think they could have did that any fucking better. Lastly, we have Jessica. I think we can all agree on this one that this is one of the best designs in the series. Yes, in the RWBY series as a whole. This is up there with Neapolitan, Sienna Khan. Like it's up there with like some of the great designs in my opinion. It feels good for both worlds. It's damn near the most perfect we could get it. In my opinion, it's a S tier design. They designed this shit like Monty was like designing it. Like Monty was like, hey man, go over here, go to this cosplay shop, go over here, get this out, and we're gonna design this like this. And it felt like Monty just like sprinkled his fucking hand dust and made this shit like a S tier fucking design. Like it was just that good. Like it was actually just that good. It was, like I said, it was probably the most perfect we could get a Jessica Green Lantern in RWBY, and I felt like they fucking aced that perfectly. They also just did her like character well, but like minus the character, this design in my opinion is definitely just a top tier design. I like RWBY and Superman's interactions. I think they are nice and wholesome. Him taking responsibility for her being a kid while also having like witty, like while she has witty retorts. I think that's kind of cool. Like I enjoyed that when he's like, you know, you're a kid, and she's like, you are too. It's like, you know, it's pretty funny. I also just enjoy like their different perspectives on leading a team and them also just understanding each other during the end of it. The friendship is pretty dope. I liked it, and I didn't mind it at all, honestly. Cyborg, Nora, and Ren felt awkward, goofy, and not needed. We got nothing of value over this. We got nothing of value over Ren just being jealous and like Cyborg trying to steal his bitch. This overall was fucking stupid. They could have had Cyborg help Batman, but no. They had to try to have him BBC Nora. The plot point gave us nothing. It was actually some of the worst shit in this movie. It was just not needed. Like I said, they probably could have used this budget on something else. It would have been much more better. Weiss and Batman honestly had a lot of potential, but they used it in all of the wrong places. Why the fuck is Weiss on Batman dick? Why does she want him to stay in Remnant? Sure, he could be abused, but why was this such an integral part to their story? Batman could have related to Weiss by helping her with family issues. Fuck it. Batman could have helped with Klein. A simple I got a butler too could have gone a long way. Imagine a Klein and Alfred like fucking dynamic duo pairing. It would be funny just to have them speak about it and talk about their butlers and like their trusty assistants. Like that just sounds funny. It just sounds cool. Not to mention the gadgets, how her weapon works, dust, etc. They had so many things to do with this character, and I felt like they handled it in the worst way possible. Batman just didn't feel like they utilized him enough. Like, Batman was already bad in this movie, but like, they didn't even utilize him properly, so he just turned even worse in my opinion. You know I gotta mention it, but Bumbleby. Yeah, it felt very unnecessary in certain scenes. It felt like one of the 3 scenes was necessary. Everything else could have been done just regularly and wasn't needed. Like I stated in previous videos, it just felt forced, pushed, and like Yang always needed to be near Yang for Yang to do anything remotely well. Even at the start when Yang is with RWBY, it just feels like a race for her to meet Blake. Blake and Wonder Woman feel so just non-memorable. I have to go back to remember anything they're talking about, and when I do go back, it's nothing good. Wonder Woman talks about being a warrior and surviving. Where the fuck is Blake relating to any of this? Blake has a big ass home but chose to be a part of the White Fang, and then when the White Fang turned bad, she actually left. Like, Blake actually just left the White Fang. Blake has no right to talk about hardship when she jumps ship when things get hard. It makes no sense whatsoever. Lastly, we have Jessica and Jaune. They might as well have took the finals MVP and the fucking MVP. And with just how they ran this shit, give Jessica the fucking Rookie of the Year award. She just did phenomenal. And it's not even just her. Jaune and her did fucking phenomenal. Every scene they touched felt magical. It felt good. It felt meaningful. Nothing felt forced, and even Jessica had her own mini arc throughout this entire movie. These two, like these two worked so well together, and they actually just carried it. I honestly think without them, this movie is fucking terrible. The movie didn't have anything that made it stand out. It didn't have anything that was above average to catch my attention. The story is the characters are the fighting is everything just feels like it lacks passion and creativity. With the addition of Jaune and Jessica, this movie went from like a 2 probably to like a 5 out of 10. It felt like they had such a good impact on every scene that you were practically waiting for them to come back. The dynamic is actually just a S tier dynamic. I'm not even like a shipping guy, like I genuinely don't care for shipping, but I wouldn't mind people shipping this or like them shipping this. I actually wouldn't care. It's actually just a good dynamic overall, whether it be a friendship or love. It's actually just really fucking good, and that's the best thing you could want. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the RWBY's Justice League movie. I felt like it was rushed, and it didn't feel complete. And no, not because it's a part 1. It just didn't feel like many ideas were executed or even thought out well. It felt like many concepts were taken in a small amount of time and they were just told, hey bro, go make do. Overall, this movie needs work, major work. I guess we'll see what happens in part 2, but that's for like another video. So, you know, go check out that one because my thoughts and opinions may vary, who knows. But anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video and peace out. Or peace. I said my old intro. Who would have thought? Yeah, and peace.